Well, Scott, a long evening, but and you've come out of it with a tie.
Yeah, it's almost just as good with the rain off in the end, weren't we? But that's the game. I'd rather play and have a chance of winning knowing that you might lose. But that's my take on it. And given the evening, given the weather, it's probably somewhat of a fair result, I think.
Yeah. At one stage, it looked like you could lose it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think those close games, they always tend to, or the rain-affected games always tend to favour teams that bat second. And it's probably an issue in the game that needs looking at, but obviously that's for someone above my pay grade. So I thought on the whole, and the attitude from everyone in the changing rooms was spot on. We wanted a game of cricket, we always do, and we got one, and unfortunately we couldn't quite get over the line.
Yeah, so they're needing 76 off 6, and the first day was amazing. You guys must have been cock-a-hoop.
Yeah, it was brilliant from Woody, and I think there's an inclination in a short game like that to maybe go to death skills straight away, but he held his length brilliantly, and it was swinging considerably, so full credit to Woody there. That's no mean feat. And then probably with that you think it's maybe disappointing that we've then effectively made it a 5-over game and still not managed to defend it, but when the ball's wet and it's coming on like that under the lights, it can fly off in all directions. So
Yeah, some big overs in there. They really needed 2 big overs from you, and you gave it to Hampshire. Your first over only went for 8, and they needed that.
No, I appreciate that, Jeremy. I pretty clear plan of what I tried to do, and I think that sort of scenario suits my style of bowling. It's about being defensive, but looking to try and sneak a wicket if we can to slow the rate. And yeah, Vincey was brilliant. He sort of said, this is what I think, and we went with it. So yeah.
So you get to the last over. You're bowling your second over. They need 13. What are you thinking? Because the momentum was with them at that stage.
Yeah, it was. I'm not real, too happy with the way I've closed that out. Maybe being hard on myself, whatever. But I'd like to think I probably should have closed it out. And if that one that goes up in the air off Geds is held, then maybe it's a different story. And we probably shot ourselves in the foot a little bit in the field. We misfielded a few times, and I know it's tricky with a wet ball, but we're all professionals. We all work incredibly hard on our fielding. So yeah, those fine margins count for a lot in tight games like that.
Did you think that maybe DLS was a little bit harsh on you guys? Did you think maybe Middlesex should have been chasing a few more? I know it's a definite calculation, you can't change that, but sometimes it doesn't always favour a side that's been inconvenienced like Hampshire would.
Yeah, as I alluded to earlier, Joe, I think it's it's something that does probably need to be looked at, but in the summer it's maybe such a rare occurrence that it's only when games end up like that you think something needs to be done about it. I think starting second innings needing 12s but having 10 wickets and a brand new ball is probably not right, but then where do you draw the line? At what point is that shifted in another direction? So yeah, as I say, it's for someone above my pay grade, but we're just the monkeys that have to try and get on with it.
2 good overs from you tonight, and we'll forget a little bit, not just you personally, but the game against Kent was hard last week for everybody. But the first 3 games and 8, it's been going well for you.
Yeah, I let myself down a little bit at Kent, and I think we've all reflected upon that, and I'm still not quite over it. I think we're better than what we put out there, and certainly when games end up like that tonight, you're thinking if we performed a little bit better on that Sunday, would things be different? But after 5 games, this is 3 wins and a draw or a tie, and 1 loss was probably better suited than we have been in previous seasons, mate. So it's another big week coming up next week. Surrey at home, and then obviously the West Country trip, and both those grounds rather pose different challenges to what we have here. So it's going to be about reacting fast and hopefully getting some more wins on the board.
Yeah, these next 4 games coming up till Friday at Bristol, as you mentioned. There's going to be Luandre Pretorius. We've seen a bit from him tonight. You've seen probably about as much as we have because he's only just come here. And Brevis as well. How much are you and maybe the team excited to watch these 2 contribute over these next 4 games?
Yeah, I don't think we want to put too much pressure on them. They're free-flowing players and they're exciting, and I think they're drawing the crowds in certainly. So the messaging will be very clear. It'd be probably easy to get carried away with the short boundaries, but I'm sure they'll stick to their guns and play the way they have done. We've had some good results at Taunton certainly, and Bristol in the past, but we've had some dodgy nights there too. So I think a lot of prep's gone into it, and a lot of thought's gone into how we want to operate next week, and it'll be down to us 11 out there to try and get the job done.